Donald Trump left the G7. He said it wasn't to deal with peace. It was bigger than that. People all over the internet with images of mobilization of U.S. air assets. Iran, it appears, clearly does not want to involve the United States in this conflict. I would imagine, for the most part, they don't want any part of this conflict whatsoever. They were in the midst of attempting to negotiate a deal with the United States to allow them to just have a civilian nuclear program, you know, like Abundance would want. Really, basically, they were just trying to negotiate for the Abundance program. And Donald Trump was either tricked by the Israelis or participated in a ruse to leave Iran vulnerable to a surprise attack.
He could have also been tricked by the guys like Marco Rubio that he's hired, and they could. Rubio's a long time hawk, and there's so many hawks in the administration too that could have been. There were reports about poison pills being put into the negotiations prior to this.
Oh, I think you're right. I mean, it's quite possible that when Netanyahu said to Witkoff, maybe to Rubio, we're going to attack Iran, they got a yellow light from Rubio and Witkoff as opposed to a red light. I mean, we've seen this before, right? In fact, the Iraqi invasion of Kuwait was supposedly because they felt that the Bush administration had no issue with that. The first Bush administration.
And this is where, like, Trump does want to be a deal maker, right? And so that impulse is something that we talked to Trita Parsi last week that was like a potentially an improvement. But then when that runs into his like desire to be a tough guy, GT wrote about this, you have a contradicting set of kind of impulses there from Trump, because maybe in theory he would want to do a deal with Iran, but he wants to beat them into submission prior to it and feel like he won. And I don't think it's a coincidence that the bombing happened after Trump's 60-day timeline that he imposed on the Iranians for these negotiations. The day after that expired, Israel bombed Iran and said that they were doing, and the United States claimed that they had no involvement, despite removing our personnel in the anticipation of the strikes. Right. Like, it was so clear that the United States was behind this, and no one believes it. But they're trying to pretend like our hands off.
Or aware of it.
But you're involved if you're aware. I mean, the Israelis and the United States exchange intelligence all the time.
And the yellow light means like hit the gas pedal historically
with all our arms.
America and Israel.
But I think in terms of providing provable material support, I don't think Iran even wants to know that that's the case, because then they're obligated to respond. Now, the question is, will Trump pass that threshold to where it is obviously and undeniably clear to the Iranian population and to the rest of the world the United States was involved? And that feels like where we're at. And the bizarre thing that's going on here is, I remember quite well the run up to the Iraq War. It was really a 18-month long, maybe 2-year process where they were trying to create all sorts of different stories. They were literally attacking people who were undermining their false stories about yellow cake uranium and outing CIA agents. And what's fascinating about this is that there doesn't seem to be, it's as if essentially Trump said, like, well, I don't need to pretend all that stuff. I'm just going to do it. Here he is and this is really the extent of his effort. We have video of 3 weeks ago, Tulsi Gabbard, director of intelligence, saying that none of the intelligence services believe that Iran is anywhere close to enriching enough uranium for a bomb that they haven't made any attempt, that they're at least 3 years away. 3 years away from having a nuclear weapon, and that would be involved. They would have to decide tomorrow that we want to do this.
And go for it full bore.
Then go for it. Here's Donald Trump, and this is, I don't need to send somebody to United Nations and hold up some talcum powder and mushroom cloud. No.
You've always said that you don't believe Iran should be able to have a nuclear weapon, but how close do you personally think that they were to getting one? Because Tulsi Gabbard testified in March that the intelligence community said Iran wasn't building a nuclear weapon.
I don't care what she said. I think they were very close to having it.
I don't care what my own director of national intelligence says.
I didn't put her there because I thought she was smart.
I mean, I saw those yoga videos Jimmy Dore sent to me. I just went crazy.
Tell her
Just
aloha.
the way the Iranians talked to me, I could tell. They had that swagger.
I mean, so Netanyahu is contradicting that claim immediately, right?
Well, of course, but Netanyahu has been claiming that Iran
Yes.
is a week away from a bomb.
Since the 90s.
I mean, literally for multiple decades.
Yes. There's this old footage of him testifying in 2002 in front of Congress, talking about how the invasion of Iraq and regime change with Saddam Hussein would be this like incredible positive for the region. Yeah. And now he's doing the exact same playbook. You guys played this yesterday.
He got what he wanted out of it.
But I couldn't get over that footage of him so nakedly trying to appeal to our dumbass president about saying that Iran was behind the assassination attempt against him and like trying to appeal to his most like base sense of self to pull this country into what would be such a disastrous war that like I mean,
the progressives are actually regressive.
The damn like Iran is 4 times the size geographically of Iraq and 2 times the population size, and is more mountainous and much more difficult to like. The fact that we're even talking about this is insane.
Here is, I mean, this is the way that it goes down. Is if the United States participates in a way that is undeniable. All the assets in the region will be under attack. And Trump will then have to deal with, does he go in and attack because U.S. assets have in some way been attacked and save face? Or does he at that point go, just pretend it doesn't happen and negotiate a deal? I mean, this is why the next step is so consequential. Here is Tulsi Gabbard, just so that we can put it on the record, back in March, testifying to the Senate. And they were mad about this.
The Israel lobby definitely was.
The IC continues to assess that Iran is not building a nuclear weapon, and Supreme Leader Khamenei has not authorized the nuclear weapons program that he suspended in 2003. The IC continues to monitor closely if Tehran decides to reauthorize its...
Suspended in 2003. Go ahead.
That's it.
To monitor closely if Tehran decides to reauthorize its nuclear weapons program.
That in 2003 when she said that, right, which is amazing, is because that Netanyahu is using claims from the International Atomic Energy Agency from back during that time period in the early 2000s, where they had claimed that there was some sort of effort to create a nuclear bomb. Netanyahu is saying that set of like reporting that also there has been some criticism of that constitutes an emergency, so much so that it would justify a preemptive attack on the nation of Iran. And then calling it defensive. A report from like 25 years ago, basically.
I mean, look, the college football teams have been running the option offense for a long time, and every once in a while it scores a touchdown, so why would they reinvent the wheel?
It's insane. Israel is such a rogue state and threat to the entire globe that we can't be overstated. They're committing genocide in Gaza. They're attempting to annex the West Bank. They are illegally occupying large swaths of Syria. They are bombing Lebanon, and they have now just bombed Iran in an offensive way. Like, if this is not a rogue state, I would,
There's no such thing.
There's no such thing. They are a threat to the rest of the world with every action that they take. And Netanyahu, he narrowly survived that no confidence motion. My guess is he'll continue to narrowly survive those, because generally the policy within Israel is kill as many Arab people as you can, no matter what. And Iran's been the big bad for quite a while.
Well, to be fair, Iranians are not Arabs.
Oh, sorry.
They're Persians.
Persians. Apologies.
But I think the point still stands.
Yes.
And reminds me of this Vincent Bevins tweet. If you can pull that, just pull the video. Yeah, there you go. You can fade to it. In the final years of South African apartheid, the white government decided it must 1. Overthrow the government of Angola, 2. Install a puppet regime in Namibia, 3. Attack Zimbabwe, 4. Attack Botswana, 5. Attack Zambia in order to survive. This did not work.
Hey, folks, don't forget to hit the subscribe button and check out our daily show. We do it every day at 12 p.m. Eastern for about 2.5 hours. We even take phone calls. You should check that out.